Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Happy Tuesday. How is everyone today? Look, you guys, this is going to be probably a jam-packed show. First of all, because, well, it's me and Loren, and we always have lots to say, but today is about the power of we. I asked Loren a couple weeks ago if he'd like me to interview him, interview the interviewer. It's so exciting. So I thought it would be really fun. He liked it too. So you guys know Loren. He's been doing the Power of We. Oh my gosh, I think since like 2018, I want to say, or 19. We got to get him in on here and have him clear that up for us. And as you all know, this year he's going to Romania. And I don't know about you. I heard him mention a few things about how it went about, and I want to know how Romania came about. And I'm excited. This is going to be a jam-packed show, I have a feeling. because like I said, Loren and I both have a lot to say, and we want you to hear it. So if you are here live, let's do a hashtag live, and I want you to share this out, and I want you to be involved as much as you can. Ask questions, listen if that's all you want to do, but I also want you to show some love, and be sure you're here with us along the way, because this isn't going to be like all the other shows. I've never seen anybody interview Loren on his own show before. So let's see how this is. Let's get Loren in here. Come on, Loren, don't be shy.
Freaky frickin' Friday on a Tuesday.
I know.
It feels like Freaky Friday, like you're in my body and I'm in yours. Oh, wait a minute. I'd have to have a joint in my hand if I was in your body.
Boom, baby.
Yeah. There it is. Thank you for having me. I can't tell you how long it has been a dream of mine to be a guest on this show.
Right? Oh my gosh, Loren. So look, we know you have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. We're both intelligent, vocal people. So,
Go on. No, really.
I know there's a video you want to show. Real quick, when did Power of We start? Was it 2018?
It was. And what an interesting story. Thank you for opening with that. That's a great place to start. A lot of people don't know this. Well, I've mentioned it, but I have never, since it happened, spent more time inside of that moment than I have the past couple months with this Romania trip, this global thing. It's totally changed the game as far as what the Power of We means to me, because now, and I'll tell you how the name got here. I had been doing solo performances on stages all of the last half of 16 and all of 17, and I'd gotten to the point in 17 at the front end where I had hit my 99th stage appearance by myself, and Manny Lopez has a big event out in California, and had asked me if I would come out and do my 100th speech on a stage with other speakers. Now, I'd never been on a stage with other speakers, but anyway, I was there, and I met a marketer who said, "Hey, I live in Las Vegas." I used to live in Las Vegas, I said. So there was a connection, great guy, but a marketer. And I didn't even know what that really meant at the time. I mean, deep down inside the catacombs. But, marketers are all about that money. They are, that's duh. And so anyway, we split the event down the middle and assigned tasks to each other. And actually, I found the venue because I'd lived there and I was an event planner. So I knew places to go. So I got the venue.
Event planner.
Yeah, I was an event planner for 26 years, specializing in nonprofit fundraising, which is box office poison to a lot of planners. They don't want to touch.
Yeah.
They're not very successful usually, but I kind of had a knack at it. So anyway, we went. It became on their side of the table, more of a pay to play kind of thing. And I learned then that's why it's a personal choice for everyone. But I really encourage my coaching clients to stay away from those types of opportunities, simply because I believe when you sell stage space, those people have purchased the right to bring whatever it is they're peddling because they paid for it. It's legal. It's binding. There's a contract. There's a transaction. You negotiated. Boom, boom, boom. So you can't say anything. But a lot of them come, not all, but some come with angles, pressure techniques. I believe from the stages we're there to tell, not to sell. That's what vendor booths are for. That's what, landing pages and things are for. But when people, people could say, well, when you go to church, they pass the offering plate. Yes, they do. But that is like a donation. It's whatever you can afford. But with the pay to play thing, Anyway, it was not integrity based. It was totally out of alignment. I saw things that literally made me want to vomit in my mouth. Felt like someone kicked me in the stomach. Things they were saying about, like for instance, poaching, poaching people's clients, and he's a weak or she's a weak coach. I think you should go talk to that person. They're on the fence about everything. Pull them. Don't, when you go out, you try to sell your program, don't even approach this woman. She borrowed money to get here. She doesn't have a pot to piss in. Literally, I heard these things going on. And so we were on the plane ready to come back. It was in the books. I was so glad it was over. And Brian was sitting in the aisle seat because we drew straws and I won. So I was by the window and I said, I'm putting on my headphones. Here they are. These very headphones right here. These. I said, I'm going to put these on. And I'm not coming out. I'm not coming from underneath them until God takes this funky ass taste out of my spiritual mouth. I need some spiritual Listerine to swish around because I cannot stand this. I can't believe it. And it was at the beginning of my career. So it was very important to me about how I stepped into my purpose. And I don't want to step with a bunch of poo all in the grooves of my spiritual shoes or sandals. I don't know, if you know what I mean. Where you're looking around like, if somebody stepping some
shit,
right, that's how I felt, even on the plane. Like I should be walking to my seat, looking at
what an icky feeling.
Oh, it was horrible. Horrible. I'll never forget it. Thank God. I will never forget it. So anyway, I went under my headphones, and I don't even remember what happened under them. I can't tell you if I started seeing things here. All I know is I whipped them off when they said, put your seat up in your tray table. We're approaching Chicago. Boom, boom, boom. And I whipped him off. Brian had been sleeping. And I said, they gave it to me. And he goes, what is it? And I said, I don't know. I have no clue what it is. But I was told to call it the Power of We Symposium. And Brian, who had been, he's Mr. Highlighter and writing in his books and stuff, wrote it in the margin of the book he was in, so we didn't forget it. And anyway, I went out the very same week looking for the venue. I still didn't know what it was going to be, but I knew it was about kids. I knew that. And I went to the Stan Mansion where Chera, the owner, walked me through the property, all through the mansion, and I could see it. That's when I saw it. That's the moment I knew what it was. When I stepped out on faith, went to find a venue for something I didn't even know what it was going to be, really. I just knew it would have kids. And all along, I knew when I pulled up in front of the Stan Mansion, it was perfect because it had a wrought iron fence. And I was dying for something to do with kids so I could take a page from the playbook of Willy Wonka. Because, remember how they were all standing outside waiting? That's what we do at the Power Week Chicago. And we did it again in Atlanta at the Biltmore Ballrooms. We find venues that have those fences that are opulent. Those places where kids who are underserviced or underprivileged or underacknowledged is the main thing. That's all kids, in my opinion, a great majority. And I wanted to celebrate them, to make it all about them, just like Willie did, just like Willy Wonka did. I knew that we could give kids today a literal golden ticket, if just for a day, and a lot of it was a part of me beginning the healing process for my inner child. I know that now. I did not know that then.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
It's Psych 101. Oh, he was in the foster system. Of course he's going to do something for kids. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What? But I want to know, one of my questions, actually, we need a deeper answer than that, because you've mentioned kids 6 times. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Obviously, and I knew it was for the kids, right? It's one of my questions. So it's easy to say because you were in the foster system, but tell us, why is it kids? Why is that so important?
Well, that's an easy one. Survivor guilt is one. And for me to honor the 3 boys that were in that very first foster home with me, I have a necklace that I wore my first 100 speeches. I never took it off. I would hold it for strength when I thought I was going to screw up or I couldn't do it and I was going to pant and faint. before hitting the stage. And I had it made with 3 different stones 3 times repeated for Alan, Adam, and John, because the 2 of us that were oldest were 11 and 9, and then there was a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And Adam was the 4-year-old, and he was the spokesperson for that trio. And I remember I arrived at that home around 2 in the afternoon, and they told me to go unpack in the room, and those kids were playing in the backyard. And I guess they'd been told to stay out there. I figured that out later because there were rules about what you could do, when you could do it, better not move, you go to bed, better get a whooping, boom, boom, boom. And so I was in that room, and I saw there were 3 sets of bunk beds, so 6 beds, but there were only 4 of us. In one bed, the top mattress was gone, and it was just the wires, the springy pieces, and the mattress was up against a wall. And so I just was hanging to myself, and they came in, and because they would lock you in the room. I didn't go to dinner or any of that. I don't want it. I wasn't ready. And so you got to understand, that was on a Wednesday, and we had just buried my mom the Wednesday before, and she had fallen out and died the Wednesday before. So in the span of 2 weeks, my entire world changed. My name changed. I was Larry Dixon. And then after a week, when the state came in, they said, no, you're not. You're Loren Harris. And it was just one thing after the next. So I was laying in that bed. I had my mom's hand towel. It was the last thing I grabbed on the way out the door because it smelled like her triple lanolin lotion. And it just felt like she was with me. So I was facing the wall, and they came in and were locked in. They were like, hey, new kid, and you need to listen to us. And you don't have to, we're not trying to play with you, and you don't have to like us, but we need to give you some info. And I turned over. I was shocked that the voice was coming out of the little bitty one. And I looked down, and he's like 4, and he's like, yeah, so here it is, And I learned later why he was so wizened, because he was the only one out of the 4 of us that had never seen a regular free home, the free world. He had been in the institutional setting. He was born in prison and passed off and had never seen the outside world ever. And so
how old were you?
I was 11.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just 11.
I was
okay.
11.
Wow,
Yeah.
11 years old, your whole world. Okay, go ahead.
And so he said, hey, listen, see that mattress over on that wall? And he pointed to it. And looked, I still see it. It's still there. And he says there's a hole behind that wall that leads to a closet, but the closet's locked. And then after that closet, it's a bedroom, and that door's locked. But so there's 2 locked doors, but there's one person in this house, and he's got keys to both of them. And since you're new, chances are he's going to come tonight for you. So here's some things to keep you safe. Don't pretend like you're asleep. It'll make it worse. Don't cry. It'll make it worse. Don't think you can scream or run. No one will hear you. We won't hear you, even though we're right here. He said all this. But it'll be okay. And I still didn't understand what he was describing. I had not a reference point to it. But I remember going to sleep, kind of looking over there, watching. And I remember the moment when I saw a hand start scooting that mattress. And that's when What Is Greater Than swooped me up and took me to a room that had carpeting that was made of grass that felt like music, that sounded like peace. Notice the words don't match it was everything. And as long as I had contact and my toes were moving to just settle into, I don't remember any of what happened, and I say in my mind up there on that bed. But fast forward years later, just a few years ago when I did my master class, it wasn't until I watched it back. I was watching it with Brian, and something said, no, stop. Watch it alone first. And Brian said, well, I got to go to the bank and da-da-da. So, okay. And he kept running in and out, forgetting stuff. I was like, oh, will you hurry up and go? And so he went, and I watched it. And I promise you, I was sitting in that red chair over there, and I could see over my shoulder to me recording what I was watching. It was like it's so many places all at the same time. I was also simultaneously sitting on the bed next to that boy from that very first night. I saw the outfit. The bag was there because I had a little store bag that I grabbed to put my mom's towel in because my trash bag was already in the car. And because that's what they give you, a trash bag. And he said to me, the wounded kid, thank you for coming back and showing me why we had to go through this, why it's so important. I get it now. So you hurry, go back there and finish what we've started together. And so when God gave me the Power of We Symposium, it was for so many things. And it was because I learned that, for one thing, every version of us that lives through stuff, especially when we're children, they manifest literally the lives. Those versions of me manifested everything that I'm living in today. They did that. Mm-hmm. They did it. And I'm manifesting, I believe, for the Loren of however long I live, for down the road, for tomorrow. But this life, I owe to them. And so God gave me that to start unstitching their lips so that their story wouldn't be one of, just like why we're going to Romania. I don't want these kids' stories to remain, oh, poor you, orphan, abandoned, forgotten, nothing, worthless, all those things that they believe because of their not so permanent circumstances. And so, and I remember how along the way it took one person, Anne Hasselbaum. Her name was Anne Hasselbaum, and then she got married while she was taking care of me. I had her for 3 years, and I found her when I turned 18. And when she came to me, I mean, not 18, when I was 32, I found her because I wanted to let her know I found my birth mom, because she always told me I would if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. You know, when it's time, she told me all that. She told me so many things, that she planted seeds that allowed me to have something to germinate that could manifest later for me. And just finding my mom was one of those. But she also told me that very first day before we went in, while we were at the trunk, and the trunk was open, so because the people were standing out on the porch, right? And she said, I just saw the whole yard, the hound dog tied to the tree with that big link chain and all that. No grass, my gosh. All of it. No grass where the dog would go back and forth. All of it. How it smelled like fried pork chops when I walked in, and we didn't eat pork because I was Seventh-day Adventist. All these things just come rushing in. So anyway, she said to me while we were in the trunk pulling out my trash bag, she said, listen to me. I may be new at this, but I'm good at this. If anything is ever wrong and I come visit you, anything at all, you don't have to explain it. Squeeze my hand. I will always say, well, I will say this to you when I leave. Why don't you be a gentleman and walk me to my car? What right. She said, and I want you to take my hand and walk me to my car. If you need me to take you away, squeeze my hand 2 times. And I promise you, I'll be back before I go home that day to move you. And she did it like 5 times over the years. I had to squeeze her hand twice. And so that was when I learned how important connection is with children from an adult standpoint. Because right. Me squeezing was her giving me permission to speak my fears.
Right. And ask for help.
Ask for help.
Yeah. That's huge.
It really is.
For a child with trauma.
Yeah. So
I know you want to get to the video and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's how I got here.
Well, I love that, Loren, because I've heard that story once. You interviewed with someone when I first met you a couple years ago. And of course it was like emotional. And I don't think a lot of people have heard. And I was hoping you would like go a little deeper, because I think it's more important than Psych 101 to understand why this is so important for you, for us, for Power of We.
It is. You know, that inner child is alive within all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Just yesterday, I tell this all the time. I love to just stand outside and close my eyes and listen on the wind for children playing, because that laughter and that lilt, that abandon, that adventure, that freedom, all of that. Where's Waldo? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Somewhere over the rainbow, the never-ending story, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. All my favorite things. Like, I can see them right now. I can see it all. And when I hear that coming from children, it's so healing.
Yeah.
It's so very healing. And a child's childhood is so short.
It is. It really is. Now, you mentioned something which really stuck with me every time I hear this too. You weren't the first child that I've heard about having to be given trash bags with no dignity. You okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
You brought up something because I heard you mention the kids for Romania. You want to bring backpacks.
Yeah.
And when I heard you mention trash bags, I was like, huh. So I want to talk about that if you want to talk about the backpacks.
Of course. We're taking 200 comfort cases. We had to send empty ones to Romania because Comfort Cases fills them. The organization comfortcases.org. Thank you, Rob Shear, and your wonderful team. And Rob Shear came out of foster care just like myself and has this wonderful international nonprofit which gives kids in care when they come in to the system, or they say your shit gets stolen or whatever. They give you a backpack with all the things that's age appropriate, gender appropriate, that gender you identify with. So there's new pajamas, a new bathrobe, slippers, toiletries, a book, a stuffed animal, a couple of little toys like a Rubik's Cube or whatever. Things just so you have something that is yours. And it was like, they're like 30 pounds each, and that would have been $17,000 for us to ship the full backpack. So I said, I'll take what I can get. I figured it out and said, okay, send the empty backpacks. We'll find the money. We're going to buy stuff in bulk. The team over there is looking. If we have to split up and go to dollar stores, because they have those, we're going to go and we're going to find things, and we're going to put, of course, they'll get the Power We t-shirt, and we're going to look for other things. And I'm trying to get some food vendors over there to get some snacks and chips and candy to put in there. But we're going to make it work. We always do. We, emphasis on W.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was saying earlier, Jamie, how in this build out more than ever before, I've been forced to understand the meaning of the name I was given on that airplane, because I've never had to focus on just the we as the public as heavily as this trip. There's something about corporate sponsors that they just don't want to be involved, or they're, this hasn't been a good year, whatever. I've heard it all. Trust me. Been there every year. I'm not taking anything from them, and I don't feel anything against them, but it is what I'm hearing. They're like, why Romania? And I'm like, why not?
I love that question. That was also on mine. There's so many kids. What do you say to people? Oh, Loren, don't you know there's plenty of American kids and blah, blah, so what do you say to that? And you brought it up.
We serve them.
Right.
We serve them.
Right.
Look at our track record. We didn't get that presidential award for not doing our best. We did that. Right. We started with our own kids, worked out the kinks, and now we want to start moving it so it's available for all kids. Period. I always start my day, well, not always, but oftentimes, especially when I'm doing a Power We, thinking about, just like I said about the mass shootings, it's 146 as of today. Now, tomorrow might be different. But every day, so many kids come into some system somewhere. They fall through the cracks, thinking it's temporary. Like they told me, you'll be home, Larry, in just a few days, as they stood on the stairs and waved goodbye to me. I'll never forget it. I was on my knees in the back of that gold state car with the deer emblems on the side. I see it like it was a moment ago. And I was on my knees waving at them all. And they said, it'll just be a few days and we'll have you home. I was 18 years old when I came back, and it was a different world. They were different people. Our relationship has never been the same.
Mm-mm.
And I was definitely a different person with a different name, and all my friends had grown up and grown away, and just all kinds of things. So Romania was chosen for me. I did
Yeah.
not put it. It was not the process of where we're going to do an outside of Chicago, because every other year it is somewhere other than here. This just happens to be the first international. We were going to go to Australia in 20, but then COVID hit. So, right. So we were 8 weeks away, but it wasn't in the cards. So this time I had originally, like maybe this time last year, had been invited by the International Children's Day Foundation to come and speak in
Right.
May over there.
It was originally a solo speaking
It was
event,
just
right?
a speaking event. Yeah. And
Okay.
I'm going to take this bite of raisin bran.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Get it.
Because I kept putting it on the spoon and putting it back. Because usually when I'm the host, I can ask a question and eat. But
I know.
when I'm the guest, I guess I run my mouth. So we worked together for like 4 or 5 months trying to make it work. And the more I was baptized into the current situation of the children that I was to speak to, the me, which is the power we, was like, wait a minute, I don't want to just go and do finger painting. I don't want to just go and say something, wave, take some pictures and leave. No, I cannot do that. So it started changing. It started transforming. And then we got to the point 2 months ago where it's like, listen, we should stay in our own lanes, do what we're best at. And I remember Maureen Flatley from the State Department told me back when it looked like it might go like this. She said, well, Loren, just know this. You do understand you don't need them to do this, right? You can do it. And I hadn't even considered that. But here we are. And so I took it to my team, Rock Stars, which you are one of, first, to see if they would be willing to stand beside me and create the Red Rover line of this trip to Romania. Red Rover, send the United States team right over. And they said yes. So then, and I had already been introduced to some powerful game changers, some influencers, some heart-centered people, because I was going to go anyway with the other group. So I had that basis, and then I took the new idea to them, and they said yes. And then it was Red Rover, send the Romanian team right over. And so here we are, clicking into each other, the two teams, like a nice purposeful seatbelt to wrap around this experience. Then we, from the beginning, it has been the Legacy of Hope tour, because children today, including your boo, all the kids today, I hear that song from the 60s, the cleanup woman, making it easy for the cleanup woman, the person who has to come behind something and clean it up. That's what these kids are inheriting. All the crap that so many of us who didn't give a shit about anything have created. And so, it is never about just one thing. And God works, the universe works on a need to know basis. So
Right.
I had to trust in my own beliefs and teachings. And one of them that you hear all the time, I'll say, is that I believe, for me anyway, faith is not a thing. Right. Faith is a place. And so I found myself standing in that place. It was the seat of my soul at that moment. And I knew, I heard, I felt, I still do, for us to go, to change the story and celebrate kids who are making it out, because they're going through it. And that's how they've come to it, to a place where they deserve to be acknowledged for staying alive, for keeping hope, for still having empathy for mankind, for all the things that truly matter, even though they fight for a home that they don't have to worry about losing at any moment. I spoke to a 91-year-old woman who just last year came from underneath that fear after all those decades. 44-year-old people I met, they're still hoping one day to have a home that really belongs to them. And if they are at 91 and 44, it's the same thing that echoed from the kids I spoke with. in their 20s and teens. I just want to one day have my own home. And so we're going, and we're taking hope. We're bonding together. We're taking 200 letters, pen pal letters. We'll talk about that, to go inside the 200
Yes.
cases. And this is all, I'm not kidding you. I usually have 17 to 20 corporate sponsors for this thing. 2 were aboard this year. And so I have never done a GoFundMe ever, but immediately the download came, put it out there. This is a modern day stone soup story. Put it out there. And those who have been asking for things, it will resonate with them, and they know that they will be blessed in the manner in which the spirit they give dictates. So even if you give $1, it could be buying that house you know you need for your family just months or weeks away from now. If you spend just and donate $5, it could be that replacement car that you have no way of knowing how it's going to find its way to you and you to it. If you just donate 50 cents, it could be that answer to that doctor or that place you need to go to get that answer that you know is true, that there is hope. I need it. Where is it? Hope is free. Love.
Let me ask. Yeah, I want to talk about that too. You and I both know that the trauma and the lasting effects, like you just said, decades and stuff. So we're going over there and hope and stuff. But here's the thing. What happens after? Yeah, these kids have a great day and it's all happy and wonderful. And then they got to go back to that shithole and wonder what happens after Romania for those kids, for you.
That's the spiritual magic. Spiritual magic is like pixie dust. It's a spirit. The Christians say there's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. We are not the Cinderella effect. Never have been with the power we. I talked to kids today from 2018 that have graduated college and have started families, and they still talk about that day, because it was all the things that were free that they remember. Right. Not the candy, not the catered lunch, not even, they do talk about the stay in mansion in the place because, they do talk about that and walk in the red carpet.
To enjoy beautiful things.
Yes, they enjoy those. And a lot of them had never experienced it. I mean, we had 10-year-olds, 2 10-year-old brothers at that first one they saw us cutting up strawberries, the volunteers. And they were like, are those real? They had never had real strawberries. They were 10 years old.
And that's small shit that we take for granted.
Yes.
I like what you said about the letters, because as soon as I heard about you going to Romania and the kids and the after, I think it would be really cool to keep pen pals. And I had a pen pal when I was growing up too. And to keep that pen pal thing, to keep that going, or adopt a child or something afterwards to implement to keep these kids, because I got to tell you, if there's nothing to grasp onto and all I'm looking back is a fucking room back there that I got to go to every night, it's going to be real hard to remember hope in that day Loren came. You see what I'm saying?
And that's what those letters are going to do. We hope. Because in the things that we put, our t-shirt doesn't have a bunch of sponsors on the back this year.
Right.
It has a design and a message for them, so that maybe 5 years from now, they've grown up some and they're in someplace else in the world and they see someone walking down the street. God has shown me this. And they go, wait, where did you get that t-shirt? I was there too. And I believe they will become parents, some of them, and give that t-shirt to their child. And their children will be somewhere. Hey, my dad gave me this t-shirt. Who gave you yours? My mom. She was there that day. I just believe it. And so I never want the magic to turn, the carrot to turn back into the pumpkin after we've left, the glass slipper to turn back into a work boot. We want to leave in essence of love, of hope, and it is eternal. Love is eternal. Hope is eternal. It doesn't age. It doesn't fade. It doesn't leave us. It is always there. That is why that's what we're taking.
Right.
And it is availability is the key. for those that we're calling on, including you all that I hope will donate. Oh, Q putting the GoFundMe banner.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. How can we help? Where's the thing? The letters, everything. How can we out here list all the ways, Loren?
All the ways. Well, there is the GoFundMe, and
Okay.
I will drop it inside the comments right now so you can use it at your leisure. And remember, please don't underestimate what $5 can do.
Right.
Yesterday, a $10 donation was what was needed to make it $500 for the day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Instead of $490, it was $500, and it helped. So you just, in the Bible, there's a story about the widow's mite. You don't need, and no one's watching you drop it in the pot. You can be anonymous and just do what you want to do. If you don't have any money, pass it to people that you know. What you do and the spirit in which you do it dictates karmically, law of attraction wise, and all those things that are here to benefit us and to serve us. It brings back in many times over. So I want to show you guys the if I could. First, let's meet Team Romania. This was, they did this, and they sent me the little videos. We're so excited to let us know they were ready to receive us. And so take a look.
I've lost some battles along the way.
Hi, I'm Mike Sabuika. I am a director, producer, and performer. I have been involved with charity since I was a little kid, and it's always brought me joy.
So let it burn all the way to the ground.
And we want to be a part of this project because we want to be a helping hand.
And spread joy. And
So I guess the universe is working and gather all of us to do something good for these beautiful children.
I know I'm on my way back home. Let it burn all the way to the ground. We will keep on fighting till the end. They're gonna build statues in our name, statues in our name. We're gonna stand proud among the brave, proud among the brave. It isn't in our blood to let our hearts go cold. However dark it gets, we're gonna rise our toes. They're gonna build statues in our name, statues in our name. We are tall as giants, we are strong as lions. Nothing's ever gonna tear us down. We are tall as giants, we are strong.
Give them hope. Yeah, my main motivation for this whole project is giving hope to the children.
No, nothing's ever gonna
What
tear
matters in life is to be a good person and to do good to others.
gonna tear us down. They're gonna build statues in our name.
Yay! And that's our official tour theme song.
Okay.
Andre Dutu, and he'll be
Beautiful.
performing it live on our Sunday event. Yeah, they're actors, puppeteers, dancers, and we don't find out until this weekend. They have been doing their things. We've been putting our things together, and this weekend we figure out how to stitch it all together. But we're going. I'm going to show you guys next a peek inside our week. Now you'll see certain numbers like day 3, day 4, day 5, and you'll see some that are skipped. If you don't see day 1 or day 2, it is because we're going to undisclosed locations, i.e., women and children, domestic violence shelters, places where the people we serve need to be protected through anonymity. So we're not even our drivers in the transportation sector will not know where they're taking us or why. Excuse me, for the safety and protection of the, like I said, the people we're serving. So 2 of our events fall into that category.
Okay.
So you won't see that, but you'll see some of the rest. Here you go. So that's a peek into our itinerary. And I just want to say, you know, we are getting emails and texts and posts wishing us the best from people and a lot of kids, especially kids from the school systems here. We're going to do an assembly at Jefferson Junior High in my neighborhood where 75 of our 200 letters will come from, and the press will be there. But you see the kids and stuff throwing. That's kind of what it feels like to us when we get these little thumbs up from young people and adults alike saying, we're so proud. Thank you for representing us. Because, excuse me, I really feel, and I stress this with the teams, you notice there was a young ambassador in there. That's our Romanian. He's Luca. He's 14. He'll be 15. His birthday's the week we're there.
You're so young.
He's genius. He's the one who built the Trajectory TV website from scratch. Yeah, he coded it. All of it. Yeah, he's brilliant, and he's also winner of the countrywide essay contest. That is how I met him, through the original people that invited me, the International Children's Day Foundation. So glad to have him in it. And then we have Sebastian Reina from here in Chicago, 14-year-old who survived horrific bullying a few years back, turned his pain into passion, put it into a book for kids, Master of Your Own Journey, got it sold on Publishers Row, went there to New York and represented himself, and did the illustration and got his favorite Marvel comic illustrator to write the foreword to his book, which shot it through the roof. And
Look
so,
at that guy.
Yeah, he's 14 years old, and he's our U.S. ambassador, youth ambassador. So in everything we do, he'll be at the thing this Friday. Sebastian will. And those two boys, it won't be us, excuse me, you know, jumping up on the stage in front. We have a 10-year-old girl coming from Lithuania who will be doing the welcome. She's part of Team USA, but she's coming from Lithuania, and she's going to do the welcome. Then these two boys are going to be on the panel and also helping me with MC work on the stage. They'll be signing autographs, taking pictures, and talking to the kids from the viewpoint of a kid. And we'll be listening to them. If they want, and I want people to know, when we go to these places, we're not popping in and we're out in an hour. Each one of these stops has a catered lunch, the ice cream. They rarely get ice cream. Like once every couple years, a kid there may get ice cream, if ever. So we're making sure they all have ice cream. If they want to play dodgeball or kickball, then that's what we're going to do. If they want to split up and play board games, then that's what we're going to do. If they just want to sit and talk with somebody or read a book or be read to, then that's what we're going to do. Our agenda is their agenda. So whatever it is they say they want, when we go to Studio Ferentare, which is like the ghetto there, it's where many of the Romas reside, which people used to call gypsies, but that's like calling me the N-word, gypsy. And so we're going, yes. So we're going there that day and celebrate, and they're going to dance and perform for us, the kids and the teachers, and then we're going to dance and perform for them. We'll have dance-offs at all the spots with blue ribbons, because every kid is a winner. You know, every kid is going to get a blue ribbon just for being a great kid. So our goal is in this, and with the documentary with the Sailor Brothers, a shout out to them, Kyle and Kenny Sailors. They happen to have the number 3 movie in the country right now. His Only Son is out, so please go check it out if you haven't. They're our documentary film executive producers. And yeah, so, you know, yeah. And then I have one other treat for you really quick. Quickly, I will show you. Do I have that up here? I want to find that. You talk for a minute. I want to show you.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said a lot of interesting things, and I want to talk to the audience here while you get ready. And you, you know, he mentioned letters. Maybe you guys can write letters. Maybe you can record yourself reading a book to a child while you're reading it. I still read to my son every night, and they encourage those things too. I mean, I like it when Eric reads to me too sometimes. So being read to is very therapeutic and may sound like something that isn't anything, that is a big deal. And after this, I want to talk more about just a tiny more. I know we only have a couple minutes, but I know there's more we can do from our side. Yes.
And to show you, even with the teams, you know, for instance, one of the places we can't disclose, but I'm going to show you how we're promoting that we're going, because we want it to be an immersive experience. We need to take your love, your joy, your hope. If you share it with us, it is what we're going to do with it. It's not just the money. It is the spirit in which you donate it. We want that more than the money, believe it or not, but we need the money to do it right for the kids. But we will pass that forward. And so if any team member from the USA had any connection with any of the places that we go, like I've never been domestic violence, you know, and dipped in that, but Amy Joy has. So she has taken that day and taken it upon herself to get to her sacred circle and it's $2,500 a day for us to bring the same program to the kids at every stop. You notice the numbers are right around the same at each place. We did that on purpose, except for the big one. Yes. So that the budget, we would just, because we don't want one kid to get more or less than the next kid. We don't care if they know each other or not. It's just the way it should be. It should be one for all and all for one. Excuse me. So we assigned the members of Team USA each a specific day of the tour that resonates in their life, from their journey. And here's what Amy Joy had to say about her day.
Hello, my name is Amy Joy, and I am so honored and privileged to be part of the Power of We Symposium going to Romania May 5th through 12th. This is a tour of hope. In the 1990s, we learned about 170,000 children in the system in dire situations. It is much better now, and we are going there to celebrate that with them. And there are still so many kids in the system. On Saturday, it's my day. It's my day to provide the food and the things that we're going to do and the games we're going to play with the kids. And the reason it's my day is because on Saturday, we are visiting a shelter of domestic abuse. I have gone through this. I understand this. And what a blessing that I have. I'm so grateful for that experience in my life, for this moment in time where I can go and be a blessing, where I can go and have understanding. And if you'd like to help, If you're in alignment with this at all and you want to share your beautiful energy with this group and with this mission and with this tour of hope, I would love to partner with you. Together, we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. Thank you. Mwah!
Yeah. So I just love that. That is, healing for her. Amy lives in Mexico because she had to escape there 12 years ago with her 2 small boys, because her ex-husband and the father of her children they feared for their lives, literally, so much so that all of her family lives there too now. Her parents, her siblings,
Oh,
all
wow.
live there. That's how scary it was for her.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great healing for Amy, to see that I've come from underneath the shell of hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am using that experience to hear her say, I am so grateful that I lived it, so that she can go there and really bless somebody. So, I know we're out of time. I just thank you for this idea.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I thought it was just going to be all, kooky and quirky, but it is really poured something through my spirit that I, an hour ago, didn't realize I needed so much. I'll tell you, mornings, noon, and nights, at least once a day, I'm terrified, seriously terrified that, oh God, what were you thinking when you chose me, to I don't want to mess it up. It doesn't take much for Loren to fuck some shit up. It does not.
Welcome to parenthood.
But together, and again, it forces me back, like I said, now more than ever, to really lean on the name that God and the universe gave us for this movement. I understand why we got that presidential thing, is to remind me in those moments when I don't show up as this person. This world sees what you all are doing, and we honor it. Now go and do your best, represent us, and leave something that if one child, one adult believes in what we bring, then we have fulfilled the promise of where 2 or more come together, and we believe and we support through a mindset, a heart set, a soul set of love and of service to each other. Wonderful things, spiritual magic is the outcome. This world is going to get worse before it can get better. So we must start now. Stay strong. Truth and love always, always, always prevails, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. What a great show, Loren. Thank you for sharing with us. And I know you being vulnerable. I know you're a sweet guy underneath, and sometimes you put on this tough thing. It was really cool and different to see you in a different light today. And I love that you did that. So
thank you. Thank you for doing this. You're so brilliant. And congratulations on your new book. Shout out for the book. Tell everybody.
Oh, it's called Fuck the FDA. The holistic approach to cystic fibrosis. I lived it. I didn't wake up one day and decide. 5 years they were under FDA care. My son's poop was gray. He was dying inside. His organs were dying and couldn't produce his physiological functions the correct way. I took matters into my own hands. Bada bing, bada boom. My boo's better. His poops are brown and alive.
Hey, mine are like Skittles. Can you fix that?
Yes.
Oh. Get it? Taste the rainbow. Well, listen, thank you again, and thank all of you. I'll let you wrap up. And hey, I'll see you Friday on the monthly Ask the Experts. We got some surprises for you this Friday, for real.
Okay, I'm excited. Hey, you guys, look at the GoFundMe. He even said it. $1, 50 cents, $5. Share it. I'm going to do the same. I haven't done it yet. I will do it, and I'm going to think of other things. My boo will probably write letters. We can probably draw pictures. There's probably a lot you can do that you can't even think of right now. Don't dismiss anything in your mind. These children do not have the lives we have. You just heard them say some people have never seen strawberries. So don't dismiss your own extraordinary.
Exactly. give us all the things that are free before you donate even a penny. Give us your love, give us your prayers, give us some light, and then follow your heart from there. You might just be surprised. Thanks again. Thank you. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Let me see who it is. Oh. Mental health warrior, Adam Duvall.
Oh, it's Adam.
Yes. And I just called him before to say, are you out of jail? Are you going to be able to be on my show? He goes, yes, and I want to talk about it. So if you've been wondering about Adam Duvall's arrest the other day over the weekend on Easter Sunday, tune in tomorrow morning, hot off the press. Scandal in the house. Okay. And don't forget, Friday, meet the experts right here. God bless you. God bless you. Get out there. Jamie, you ought to have your own show, girl. Hey, show girl. Have a great Bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign.